Aye. John May has resigned, disassociated himself from the Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, but Martin Merriman, his fellow Irish elder, has not yet had any action taken against him by the committees in Ireland. No action was taken against Martin Merriman, Ray Franz says, by the Judicial Committee. The branch coordinator, Arthur Matthews, openly stated that the motives of Martin and John were never in question. This was a commendable expression. Yet the official governing body policy was that John May, as a disassociated person, was not to be spoken to by other witnesses. Subsequently, a special visit to Ireland by governing body member Jack Barr, accompanied by a man from the Brooklyn writing staff, Robert Peavy, who had once served in Ireland as a missionary, was arranged by the governing body. They addressed the witnesses in the Dublin area, their talks emphasizing the importance of loyalty to the organization. After the talks, Martin Merriman approached Jack Barr on the platform, introducing himself by saying, "Brother Barr, I am the face behind the telephone." When Barr looked puzzled, Martin gave him his name. Barr replied, "Oh, Brother Merriman, it's good to see your face." Martin replied, "Well, that's very nice of you to say that, Brother Barr. The only thing is I'd rather have heard it 6 months ago when I was in New York." He asked if Barr would take the time to meet with him to discuss his questions. He pointed out that there was widespread concern in Ireland about the governing body's policy regarding persons who disassociated themselves, the implication that even to say hello to such was improper. He referred to John May as a good, decent man, and turning to branch coordinator Matthews, who was standing alongside, he said, "Isn't that right, Arthur?" Arthur replied, "John is a righteous man." Martin informed governing body member Barr that he had made it clear to the branch and was now making it clear to Barr that he would not treat John May as a wicked person, that he would eat with him at any time. Again, the governing body member did not find it convenient to meet with Martin to discuss his questions. Following this visit of the representatives from Brooklyn, word reached Martin that witnesses were again being interrogated, questioned as to any conversations with him. Having heard that a harder line had been decided upon, on October 27, 1982, after 14 years of intensely active association, Martin submitted his resignation from the congregation. Why did he and John May and their wives reach this decision? It was not what these men heard in conversation with Peter Gregerson and myself that brought them to this decision. They left Gadsden with the expressed intent to continue as members of Jehovah's Witnesses, contributing in whatever way they could for the good of the organization. They left with the strong hope that improvement was possible, that the governing body would recognize their sincerity and honest intent. The real credit, if it may be called that, for their decision to disassociate themselves rests outside Gadsden, Alabama. It rests in Brooklyn, where their conversations with members of the governing body took place, where one of those conversations was secretly taped, and from where the directives went out to the branch committee in Ireland to put in motion the program of investigation and interrogation of 2 sincere Christian men who wanted only good for Jehovah's Witnesses. I am satisfied that if it had not been for what they saw of the organization's action and spirit after they left Alabama, they would still be associated with Jehovah's Witnesses. The organization had no time to discuss their questions and concerns with them when they were at its doorstep. But it was willing to send emissaries across the ocean at great expense and to have long hours spent in investigation and interrogation of others to protect, quote, the interests of the organization, unquote. The governing body may not want to accept the responsibility for the decision these men arrived at. They may deny that responsibility, but it remains theirs nonetheless. It was, more than anything else, their speech, their attitude, their course of action that were the decisive and disillusioning factors. The experience of these 2 men has essentially been that of hundreds of others. The closer they got to their shepherds, the more the outward velvety softness gave way to unyielding, iron-cold hardness. May I say once more, a final time, I do not think the coldness or the hardness, the aloof, superior, even smug attitude experienced is owing to the normal personality of most of the men involved. I believe it owes very definitely to the false teaching that allows an organization to make claims of exclusive authority and unapproachable superiority that are both immodest and unfounded. That concept deserves not only to be questioned, it deserves to be exposed for the hurtful, God-dishonoring doctrine that it is. And so ends the chapter Aftermath in Ray Franz's Crisis of Conscience.